All right, ladies, gentlemen, hey yo, fellas, what's poppin'? What's up? How y'all doing? I see everybody up in the chat. How many people are up in the chat already? There's people talking nonstop. Damn, we got 250 people in the chat and we just started. That's a good start because I'm pretty sure there's a football game on tonight. There's a big old football game on tonight that, this is the funny thing. A couple of running backs, which obviously the running game is massive for the Ravens. A couple of running backs get hurt. All three of them. And even though they made a top 10 running back out of Mark Ingram a couple of years back, right? A couple of running backs get hurt, and everybody wants to immediately pile on the Raiders' money line. Obviously, the biggest news of that was Marcus Peters. And I agree, Marcus Peters, Jimmy Smith hurt. Jimmy Smith, maybe not himself, even when healthy, hasn't been healthy in 2 years now. But people just want to jump on this Raiders line. A lot of public people they relate fantasy football to the actual games when the most important part is quarterbacks, offensive, defensive line matchups. And for the most part, do you have a stud cornerback? They still do in Marlon Humphreys. The Raiders really don't. Do you have a good front? Yeah, the Ravens do. Do the Raiders? Not really. Do you have a good offensive line? The Ravens definitely edge out the offensive line department over Oakland. Quarterback, I really like Derek Carr. I think he's underrated, but it's Lamar Jackson there. So you start to see these things, right? You start to see these things that just because you have Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs compared to Taishan Williams, we're supposed to now think that the other line of this game is the spot to bet as the line has moved. Marcus Peters matters. He does matter. I don't think he matters a point and a half to the line, though. What's going on, Nicholas? James Proscheist or Josh Oliver? We're trying to throw those darts. If you're throwing the dart, I'll go Josh Oliver. I think Oliver runs 10 routes today. I don't know if Proscheist steps on the field because I also think he's behind Tylan Wallace. He didn't have a good preseason. He had a good camp, apparently. Everybody in camp was saying he was playing well. I mean, it's great if you can catch passes on air and catch passes in camp when nobody's really that fired up and maybe a guy's taking the day off because he's been working his ass off out there in the summer in the heat. But if you're not doing it in the games when guys are actually playing for their money and you're not getting separation like James Proscheist did on the 40-plus routes he was getting a game, it's a concern. It's a concern. What's up? What's popping? Awesome. Thanks. How y'all doing? Do they still have unlimited breadsticks or whatever? What you talking about? Olive Garden in the chat? Man, Olive Garden's nasty. Heading into the Olive Garden tonight. Nasty. You're going to get that microwaved Italian food. I mean, goddamn. Damn, Sal got it lit up with a paintball gun early. Yeah. We chilling. What up, Nicholas? How you doing? Prize Picks screwed me 3 times in a row. I never do Prize Picks again, says Chase. Chase, I don't know what you're talking about. Prize Picks has been great. I don't know if you have a concern. Definitely voice it with them. You can voice it here as well. I don't know what they're screwing you on, though, my man. I don't know. They made shirts that come in Bob Ross ISO color paint. Yeah, man, this is the whole point of buying the shirt. It's to get people's reactions. People be commenting on the shirts I get. Some of them are fly as hell. Some of them are just wild. But, I mean, look, you know what Russell Westbrook wears, and you know more about Russell Westbrook because he wears wild-ass clothes before the NBA games, right? He wears traffic jackets before the NBA games and crazy designer clothes. That increases his brand tremendously. I'm not saying I'm Russell Westbrook or playing basketball, but if all it takes is putting a shirt on that generates a reaction and keeps people's attention, it takes no extra time to do that. Murray is active tonight. Yeah, I was expecting Murray to be active. Tonight. Olive Garden is the worst place ever, somebody says. Yeah, DFS is cool and all, but I came here mainly just to see if I should still take the over. Somebody said, yeah, I haven't changed that sign in so long. Any interest in Drake tonight? Let me see what I have on Drake tonight. So currently I have Kenyon Drake in 13% of my lineups, none in the captain spot tonight. I think I'm going to try and limit while we're on this stream how many captains I'm getting because I got 7 captains early on, and I don't really like to do that too much, to be honest with you. Let me limit my captain exposure. I'm going to let's just take out Darren Waller and Mark Andrews for a second. Let's just go Lamar and wide receivers. And let's try and condense the captains and see what we get from that type of a run. Damn, we got David up in the chat, just donated a $50 Rooskier. What a way to start the season, or end week 1, start the Monday night season off. Appreciate that, David. You're a boss, man. You're always up in here the last year, so I appreciate you. Big old Billy. Got to buy another one of these shirts with that. Big Dog, what's up? Prize Picks is fire. Yo, Sal, Prize Picks, I hit all 5 yesterday for 200. Thanks for recommending it. Yeah, man, Prize Picks is fantastic. Obviously, the $25 free bet on Mahomes, that cashes, but we got the Devontae Parker to cash. The Tyron Taylor to cash in the first half. Devontae Parker was early third quarter. We had a lot to cash yesterday. It was very good. So let's start to pull up some stuff right here. Drake or Williams today? It's going to be Taishan Williams over Kenyon Drake for me. We can start to talk through. I have exposures if people are interested. Get any questions? Get any questions? Fade both Raiders running backs today. I'm going to come in under the field on both Raiders running backs, I believe, today. I'm about 28% of the field on Josh Jacobs. That might be around the field on him. I'm at 15% on Kenyon Drake. based on what I have right now for those players. And let me pull up this so I can actually pull up my, so I can move that away so I can pull up the Patreon tools. So from what I have, bam, put that back on the screen. From what I have for ownership on those guys, I currently see an ownership number on Kenny and Drake around 28%. I have Josh Jacobs around 38%, so I guess I'm going to be below the field on both Raiders running backs, which is what I would like. Salad polo shirt on Instagram, I need that, somebody says. The polo shirt? What polo shirt? That's a button down the one. I don't know what you're talking about. Draco Williams. Drake or Williams today? Williams. Sal, if you can check the Discord quick, send you a lineup with Tucker and told me to switch out Tucker if I could. I got 5.8K left. Do you prefer Edwards or Ruggs today? Edwards or Ruggs is really a toss-up. Like the matchup for both those guys, they'll see some Humphrey. I think they're all going to move around. I think you get Ruggs in the slot a little bit more, maybe not a ton, but like he was in college productive. They didn't put him there last year. Maybe they put him there for 8 to 10 routes today, and that does give him more of an edge than for me. Then a Bryan Edwards. I would take Henry Ruggs. I would give the slight edge to Henry Ruggs there. I think right now I'm getting about 10% more Henry Ruggs, 5 in the captain, 5 in my exposures. So I would take Henry Ruggs. I have 95% Lamar right now. About half of that exposure is in the captain spot. I don't know how you get away from Lamar today. I really don't. You can definitely be bold if you want to and just take the full-on stance of fading Lamar. I just really don't know how you can just feel confident in getting away from that. Wish I had as much style as Sal, somebody says. I don't have style. I just put shirts on. Purchased the lotto ticket. Now need some players, somebody says. Hey, the lotto ticket. We'd love to see it. Pretty much Jackson at captain and just change up the flex. Or you rocking various wide receivers and Waller at captain? As of my latest run, I don't have any Waller at captain. I'm rocking Jackson and 4 different wide receivers at captain. The wide receivers who have upside. Ruggs, Edwards, Marquise Brown, and Sammy Watkins. That's what I have right now. I just took out Waller and Mark Andrews. It's really nothing against them. It's just that, I mean, they're almost twice the price of some of these receivers. $4,000 more than most of the receivers not named Hollywood Brown. So I'm going to go with the wide receivers that have some upside. Obviously, Waller has 100-yard, 2-touchdown upside. Obviously, Andrews has 80-yard, 2-touchdown upside. That's what I'm trying to dodge tonight. I'm trying to dodge that. And with the over-under on Andrews' yards not being great, 58.5, Waller's are pretty solid, 6.5 receptions, right? I'm just basically trying to dodge if I don't play Waller captain lineups tonight, which my latest run doesn't have that. The run before that, I ended up getting Waller in, let me see. I ended up getting Waller in 10% of my captain lineup, so I'm going to be below the field or right around the field anyways. Probably below the field. Might as well just put that towards more receivers. Broke over to check when her favorite restaurant was Olive Garden. Funny. You get that shirt from Dan Flashes. I don't know who that is. Draco Williams, a bad idea. In the same lineup, I don't have any rules against getting 2 running backs in the same lineup. I'm considering, I think I have a rule against getting Drake and Jacobs in the same lineup, but just by their price and projection, I don't think I'm really going to get it anyways. You're looking fine today, player. I appreciate you. Do you still think Tucker's a solid flex play? Yeah, I think Tucker's a really solid flex play. I think he's a solid flex play. I think his ownership, though, is going to be there. Like, I don't think you're sneaking to buy anybody. Like, I'll probably come in around the field on Tucker. I'm not going to play him in the captain spot. I have 25% or so of my lineups with Tucker. Like, you know me. I don't really like playing kickers in Showdown. Tucker's somewhat of an exception. So I think Tucker's fine. The team total on Oakland, Vegas is 23.5. So that's a decent team total to play a kicker there as well. Like it's not an 18.5, a 20 team total. That's a decent team total to get a 6 to 8 point game out of Daniel Carlson. I'm not playing 2 kickers. I have rules against getting 2 kickers in the lineup tonight. I'm close to just eliminating completely Daniel Carlson from my ownership. People are asking me about Josh Oliver. I have sprinkle amounts of Josh Oliver. I think he'll be in like 1% of lineups. I think I have him in like 2% or 3% of lineups, right? I think he runs 10 routes. I think you're hoping for 1 to 2 targets and hoping they're red zone targets. Otherwise, he's a bust today. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the other wide receivers, though, today. Like Tylan Wallace, James Procyse. What are these guys' roles? What are these guys' roles as the wide receiver 4 and 5s on the team? What is the role of Zay Jones today if Henry Ruggs does go into the slot more on 3 wide receiver sets? What is the role of Zay Jones? Does he get 10 to 12 routes? What does that look like? Any good prize picks? Yeah, the prize picks I took this morning are still the ones that I'm rocking with. I have 500 on this prize picks right here. The over 57.5 rushing yards for Taishan, the over 34.5 receiving yards for Ruggs, and the under 57.5 Andrews, which is one that I'm hoping does well. I'm hoping there's a lot of running today and only Hollywood Brown gets the downfield targets. And then I doubled up and I went with the over on Taishan. And I really like the over 4.5 rushing yards for Derek Carr. I added that one in there. I've got Derek Carr for about 10 rushing yards today. I really like that. I mean, Derek Carr is not a complete statue. He's not an insane mobile compared to Lamar Jackson quarterback, but he's not a complete statue. Let's get these Dollarooskies, fellas. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, by the way, I've been forgetting to say it in videos. We've already been a week through the NFL with some of the highest viewership we've ever had. I forget to tell people to subscribe. So there's 600 people up in here. How y'all doing? Did I miss the prize picks part? We just did it. There you go. Any word on Jacobs today? Inactives probably just came out, and I'm pretty sure Inactives came out at 550, and I believe Jacobs was fully a go. I believe Latavius Murray is active. Le'Veon Bell was not called up. Josh Jacobs is good to go for Monday Night Football as of 4 minutes ago. Latavius Murray is expected to play, and I don't think you're expected to see Le'Veon Bell or Devonta Freeman. So what that does is gives us an expensive Latavius Murray who just joined the team on Friday, he just joined the team on Friday, didn't really probably get the playbook until maybe right when the trade happened, email it, whatever they do, I don't know. But just joined the team on Friday. So what is he really going to know? How much of the playbook is he going to know? Now, if it's first and goal from the 1 yard line, does he really need to know much of the playbook other than find the crease? No. But there are some pass protection, right? There's going to be some sorts of audibles as well. There's going to be a lot of things, especially with a mobile quarterback like Lamar Jackson, whether it is some sort of options and things like that you're going to have a feel for. So I don't think you see a lot of Latavius Murray today. I think you might see 20, 25% Latavius Murray on snaps. And that might be high. So his price point is very restrictive. I don't want to be playing Latavius Murray today. I manually took out Latavius Murray from my player pool. I was getting like 15% Latavius Murray otherwise. So I think I'm going to be making him a no on like what you're seeing on YouTube. But that is basically, that's been changed over to like a much more detailed rankings over on Patreon. So Latavius Murray, I think he might already be a no for me. I'm pretty sure. Latavius Murray is already a no. Yeah, so I already knew myself more than I thought I knew myself. So there you go. So Murray is probably going to be a hardcore no for me. The only running backs I'm running today are Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, and Taishan Williams. I prefer Taishan Williams the most. That should maybe seem pretty obvious. And then I prefer Drake over Jacobs for the discount, and I expect more passing game work. And I expect a close to 50-50 split. Like, I'm not shocked if tomorrow you see all the people, including myself, putting on Twitter all the usage notes and routes and all that, and you see double the routes run for Kenyon Drake. You see double the targets. You see similar carries, maybe 12 for Josh Jacobs, 8 for Kenyon Drake, something along those lines. I'm not shocked to see that by any means. Here's some other guys that are in a player pool. I got some other super chats. Ownership on Taishan Williams today. I haven't projected for about 35% ownership, give or take. We got Gaming with Glow. Donates $5 super chat. I appreciate that. He says, I'm down. Let's see what he says. I'm down by 4 points in PPR. I'm not sure if I should start Taishan Williams or Marquise Hollywood Brown. My opponent has Mark Andrews, thanks and blessed. This is funny. I'm up by 5 points in my main season-long league, like with my buddies from home for the last 8 years. I'm up by 5 points. I have Taishan, and my friend that I'm playing has Hollywood Brown. So I'm just trying to dodge a Hollywood Brown blow-up game or beat Taishan by 5 points. Based on my projections, it's very close. This isn't going to help you too much, but I have Taishan for 12.7 points. I have Hollywood Brown for 12 points. Hollywood Brown obviously has the higher ceiling because in one play he can have a 50-yard touchdown, and that really does blow out what he can do ceiling-wise. I would go Taishan Williams, though. Is Josh Oliver the new Nick Boyle? Josh Oliver is probably the new and improved Nick Boyle. We just don't know what his chemistry is on this team because overall he's not like a better blocker. But if you're talking about athletics measures, probably better receiver, that's Josh Oliver. But how much of a blocker can he be? Are they going to rely on his passing game work? Do they really need it now that they've kind of leveled up and got Sammy Watkins out there? They have Tylan Wallace. Obviously, Bateman at some point will return. So from a standpoint of Josh Oliver tonight, I put a tweet out, and it got a lot more traction. I wasn't expecting so many people to like it and interact with the Josh Oliver tweet, but people played him in the preseason. He played great. He was probably the number 1 tight end in the preseason. He played fucking 50 routes he was running in the preseason one game. I think he probably runs. Nick Boyle was running 12 routes a game last year, right? And like 10 the year before that. I think he probably runs 8 to 12 routes today. That might get him something decent, right? But at the end of the day, he's $200. What are you hoping for? You're hoping for the Nick Boyle, who's usually $1,800 to $2,000, runs 8 routes, 10 routes, gets 2 targets, 1's in the red zone. He has 1 to 2 catches for 10 yards and a touchdown. Can 9 points out of a $200 player be in the winning lineup? It sure can, but you're going to need the touchdown. Because if Josh Oliver even sees 2 targets today, but it doesn't go for an end zone, a touchdown, if Oliver has 2 catches for 12 yards, even at $200, that's going to seem like a really good game, right? 2 catches for 12 yards. It's not going to matter. 3.2 points is not going to be in a winning lineup today. You're going to need close to 10 points out of everybody in your lineup. 8 plus at least. Unless it's a 6-3 game, right? Top wide receiver from both teams to pick, no order. Well, my top wide receiver is going to be Hollywood Brown, just barely. I have 3% more Hollywood Brown than Devin Duvernay and Sammy Watkins, so they're all kind of a coin flip. Henry Ruggs is my favorite wide receiver play from Vegas, but I have the most Hunter Renfrow just because he's cheap. I have 36% Renfrow right now. Well, actually, let me factor in my captain ownership as well. Ruggs will be my favorite. Yeah, Ruggs will be my favorite wide receiver play from Las Vegas, and Hollywood Brown will be my favorite from Baltimore. But it's kind of close with Hollywood and the other guys out there. Sal's Let's Get Fit. Thanks for the week 1 advice. Took down the $100 person luxury box for $75K on your advice. David, I appreciate you. David, I don't know if you heard my story about the Thursday night luxury box for $100K to first. It was brutal. 2 minutes before the game locked Thursday, the Cowboys in Tampa Bay and everybody else who's listening right now, 2 minutes before the game locked, I took out Gronk to put in Ronald Jones. 2 minutes before. The rest of the guys, I had all the guys, all the dudes that went off. I had Antonio Brown captain, I had Dak, I had Chris Godwin, I had Amari and CD. And that made me go from first place to 26th place. 26th place does not cash. 25th place does cash. So I didn't cash anything. Went from 100 grand to $0 in that contest. Still profited on the night, but nowhere near as much. It was brutal. It was brutal. Also, if you are curious about those prize picks, if you want to tail these prize picks, this one I have 100 on. This one I have 500 on. If you want to tail any of these prize picks, you can use the code SAL or take any other ones. Use the code SAL. You will get your first free bet up to $100. So when you make a bet, whatever you bet up to $100, you'll get a bonus matched into that as a site credit. So if you bet $100 tonight, you'll get $100 instantly right back. So you can use that code SAL. Take advantage of it. Somebody says, let's get lucky. Let's do it. Cheap Ravens wide receivers for a captain spot? Not for me. I mean, who's the cheap? Sammy Watkins? Yeah, captain spot for me. Tylan Wallace and James Prochice? No. Duvernay? I don't have any captain Duvernay. Are you taking Andrews today? Not on the captain spot. I do have Mark Andrews in 30-ish% of my lineups. I'm really debating fading fully Mark Andrews today. His yardage number at 57.5, I have the under on. If he doesn't score even if Mark Andrews goes for 40 yards, 5 catches, and a touchdown, 15, 16 points at $9,000, that maybe gets in your lineup, right? That maybe gets in your lineup. It's not paying off as a captain, that's for sure, at the price point. So there's a chance I'm going to full-on fade Mark Andrews today. The addition of Sammy Watkins, does that take away? Now there's another receiver out there, opens things up. Does that take away from Mark Andrews? Is it just more so on the ground now with Lamar's legs as you go for, I have him on the over rushing yards in my projections, but it's only by like 4 yards, so I'm not taking it. I might run a lineup and see what happens if I just fade Mark Andrews to the rest of my exposures because I like to try and shrink my player pool. Definitely shrink your captain pool, right? I did the same with Rojo Sal, Brutal watching Gronk off. Yeah, I mean, I had Gronk in my season-long league, but that doesn't get me anything except maybe a win this week compared to everything else, right? Hey, I'm just signing up for Patreon, and it says that it renews automatically on the 1st. Is there a way to just renew every month on the 13th since I'm signing up on the 13th? I wish. I don't own Patreon. Patreon is working on a way to do a net 30. I don't know why they don't have it. Every other company I've ever seen has you sign up on this date. It'll renew 30 days from that date. I don't know why they don't have it. My guess is 3-4 years ago, they started as a small company. The easiest way to do it was to just pay everybody on the same day for processing because they probably had like 3 employees and it was the easiest way to do it. And then they blew the fuck up and now they're just trying to figure out how to change that. But if you sign up right now, you'll get prorated back. Just let me know when you get charged in October and I'll prorate you back through PayPal or Venmo. Everybody gets prorated back if they reach out, as long as they reach out. And I know. Otherwise, I don't know. True story on Latavius Murray. I just referred to alumni basketball game in my hometown just less than 2 weeks ago. You just refereed his? Oh, wow, that's crazy. Sir, what do we got? Any love for Sammy Watkins today? Yeah, let's love for Sammy Watkins. My current lineups are about to be finished being made. Fuck Aaron Rodgers for wasting my Tyreek Hill 43-point game. Yeah, he was brutal, Rodgers. At one point, I had him in my main GBP lineup, but then I stacked the other side with Jameis and barely was able to turn. I played 4,500 in GBPs this week, and I profited like around $3,000. Barely was able to turn a profit on that last Deontay Harris bomb touchdown. Actually, it was the Juwan Johnson short touchdown by Jameis. Nice shirt, bro. Thanks, man. Thoughts on Edwards today? I like Edwards. I think I like Ruggs a little bit more, but me saying I like Ruggs more, don't take that as get all the Ruggs you can now. No, it's very close. I have today, let me see what I have on these guys. Yeah, I have 2% more Ruggs overall. So it is very close, right? These guys are basically spitting images of each other. I think Edwards is, believe it or not, I think Edwards is a better receiver. He had some injury issues. He was a 3rd-round pick. Probably would have been a 2nd-round pick without those injury issues. I think Henry Ruggs last year went way too high. I don't think people are learning the lesson. We'll see if Jalen Waddle can break that trend as more of maybe this Tyreek Hill player that they want him to be. But nobody learns the lessons on the Henry Ruggs, who now he puts on 20 pounds. Maybe that helps. Marquise Brown's in this exact game. John Ross's, right? You can keep going all the way back to the Tavon Austins of the world. I'm sure I'm missing like 1 or 2 other speedsters that never really pay off for you. Corey Davis, a little bit definitely more alpha of a receiver. So you can't really put him there. It took him 4 years to break out. But yeah, I think Henry Ruggs should have probably went at the end of the 1st round last year's draft, and Bryan Edwards at the beginning of the 2nd. I think they're a lot closer players, which means, just great value overall for Vegas having both the guys on the team. Sorry about Gronk is the man. Yeah, I think Gronk is the man. It is crazy that Gronk has 1 regular season showdown slates if you don't count Sunday nights. Like at Super Bowl last year, Thursday Night Football, he won them for people. He was the captain. 2 touchdown games. Crazy. How do you feel about Renfrow and Watkins? I have exposure to both of them. I like both Renfrow and Watkins, so let's run this. I'm not going to play any Mark Andrews. Let's fully fade Mark Andrews and see what this does, just to see. Renfrow is the best cheap option on the slate today. I know that a lot of people like to dumpster dive. I put the tweet out about Josh Oliver, and it surely probably has people trying to dumpster dive for the $200 value. If Josh Oliver has 2 catches for 18 yards and a touchdown, there's a good chance he's going to be in the winning lineup tonight at 10 fantasy points. There's a pretty decent chance. But that's a massive game for Josh Oliver as the backup tight end, filling in for Nick Boyle, who just made the team this year as the tight end 3 after playing so much in the preseason, right? Doesn't really have any connection with Lamar, who really didn't play in the preseason with Josh Oliver. So, like, people are going to be dumpster diving for these guys down here. I mean, Zay Jones could be interesting, but he's $1,800, so you're not getting a really big discount. Why is Zay Jones interesting? If they do what they say they're going to do and put Henry Ruggs in the slot more this year than last year, does that start today? Is it 5 snaps a game or is it 15? Like, what is it? We don't know. If they do that, Zay Jones gets on the field more, and they love Zay Jones. So, and if that happens, then you see Hunter Renfrow obviously losing snaps. So that's kind of what that trickle-down effect would do. Henry Ruggs moves into the slot, Renfrow comes off the field, Zay Jones would go onto the field. We just don't know if that's actually going to happen. So that kind of buries Willie Snead, though, like backup, probably slot receiver. He played on the outside with New Orleans, but probably backup slot receiver behind both Renfrow and Ruggs. That hurts. What else, though, is down here? Like, I think it's going to be the best values are Devin Duvernay, because these are starting slot receivers, and Hunter Renfrow. Duvernay has a higher ceiling to him. Hunter Renfrow, his 8 fantasy points per game last year. If you get that today, you're happy at that $2,000 price point. Because based on him scoring like 8.2, 8.4 points, he should probably be closer to the kickers in that $4,000 range. So you're getting a nice value. Somebody says, fade Lamar with the money bags and fire signs. I mean, you don't have to play Lamar in the captain spot. If you full out fade Lamar, though, I mean, I think you're rooting for an injury. If you were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, if you were playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, which did not look good against the Cowboys, but that's a totally different offense that is way, way better passing-wise than this offense of Baltimore. But Lamar Jackson is not just any a schlump here, right? Against this Raiders defense, which is brutal. I mean, in all parts. They're trying to rebuild parts of the secondary. They're trying to do stuff at linebacker. It is brutal. Like, Lamar, unless he gets hurt, he will be in the winning lineups. Doesn't have to be captain, but he will be in the winning lineups. Is Carr a better pick over Waller? I prefer Waller. What are some good prize picks tonight? Yeah, we went over a couple at the beginning of the show. We'll go over them in a couple of minutes again, but if you want to just scroll through YouTube, you can go to the beginning and just check them out quick. Fade Taishan Williams for the money. I'm playing Taishan Williams tonight. I have 42% Taishan in. Let me see how much I have. Yeah, I have 42% Taishan Williams tonight. I like him. He's my highest one running back. 42% seems like a fair number for Taishan Williams. It puts me over the field on him by about 10% or so. Is Murray getting reps? Murray is active tonight. Is he getting reps? I don't know. I don't think Murray will be used heavily. I don't think he can be used heavily. He just signed with the team on Friday. Just think about this from a logistics standpoint. He signs with the team on Friday. They don't practice on Sunday, so no practice Sunday. Saturday, maybe he gets in a walkthrough or some sort of not heavy padded practice, but some sort of practice on Saturday. But he's playing with a mobile quarterback who's going to run the option, who's going to be running the ball in general in terms of blocking schemes, right? Totally different. They put two running back sets on. They have Patrick Ricard on. This is a totally different running offense than when he was with the Saints, right? Totally different offense on what they do in protections and what they do, obviously, running the ball. So him having one walkthrough and maybe one light practice, I don't feel confident that they feel confident that he knows the playbook, that he knows what he's supposed to do in terms of blocks. Can he come on the field on a 3rd down and 1 and just jump over the line or boulder his way through? Yeah. But anytime it's like pass protection, I don't think you see Latavius Murray on 3rd downs. Maybe you see Latavius Murray on 20% of the snaps, right? Yosal, I knew you were worried about Corey Davis at halftime. What do you mean? Corey Davis at halftime? I don't know what he was doing at halftime, to be honest. I don't know if he was laying an egg. I had Corey Davis, but not a shit ton of Corey Davis. New year, new plans, new everything. Sounds good. Any John Brown action tonight? John Brown does not play for either of these teams, I don't think. Did he sign with the Ravens? Did he sign back with the Ravens? He does not play on either of these teams. John Brown was on Vegas, but he has to be cut because Brian Edwards beat him out for the starting job. So, yeah, you should play 0% John Brown. Lamar will be optimum captain. Be ready for a large GBP pot splits. Yeah, right? What does it take? Willie Snead tonight? I have none. Carr, better pick. I'll take Waller. Freeman and Bell are out. Yes. Did we get news on Baltimore running backs just tuned in? Freeman and Bell are not expected to play. Latavius Murray is active, but I would not expect much out of Latavius Murray. Is it okay to run 3 Raiders pass catchers? Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, are you saying like Renfrow, Ruggs, and Edwards? I mean, they're also cheap, yeah. Like, this is not the same Ravens secondary, right? They don't have Earl Thomas back there anymore. They don't have Jimmy Smith is questionable and kind of a shell of himself. They don't have Marcus Peters. They still have a pass rush, but this is not the same secondary. It's Marlon Humphreys, who now probably comes out of the slot and moves to the outside, in my opinion, based on the matchups he'll have today. So, yeah, this is a totally different secondary. Can Derek Carr against this Raiders team throw for 300 yards? Yes. I mean, his prop is set at, like, what, 260? Like, he can throw for 300 yards against this Raiders team. They have a 23.5 total. If he throws for 300 yards, it's going to take 50 yards for Hunter Renfrow to get there, right? 4 catches, 50 yards, he gets there. It's going to take 60 to 80 yards for both Edwards and Ruggs to get there. You can play all 3 of those pass catchers because they're so cheap. If 2 of them were $7,000 and Renfrow was $5,000, it's a different story, but they're also cheap. They don't really cut into each other all that much. Obviously, they do. Every catch one has, the other one doesn't. But they don't cut into each other's ability to be in an optimal lineup tonight because they're also cheap. Are we going to get that one dude tonight, Sal? Says David. Yeah, no, the that one dudes are scheduled for the main slates. I mean, that one dude is the obvious Lamar Jackson tonight. Like, if you're talking about, like, the low-owned guy who goes off, let's see. This is a little bit different than main slates. Like, I'm not going to pick out a 5% owned guy in a showdown slate that's going to go off because I have only guys that I have, like, projected for actual points tonight is, like, 6 guys below 5% owned. And I don't think any of, like Zay Jones. Zay Jones is, like, 2% owned today. I don't have any of him, right? But Zay Jones will be the guy that if they go Henry Ruggs in the slot, Zay Jones will run 12 to 15 routes, and Zay Jones will get 2 to 3 to 4 targets. But he's not that one dude tonight because I have 0%, because I don't think that really fully happens. That one dude tonight, if you're looking for a guy who's low owned, if you're looking for a guy who's below 20% owned and has upside tonight, it would be Devin Duvernay. I have Devin Duvernay projected for 10%. That seems low even to me, but that's what I'm getting. Maybe he comes in at 14% owned. But Devin Duvernay at 10% owned tonight, that would be that one dude low owned play of the day. Do not take that as go change my lineup to play Devin Duvernay over Hunter Renfrow or make sure I have him over the kickers. No, you're asking for a guy. I gave you a guy 10% or below. That's the best guy who has 10% or below ownership today. I have 29% Devin Duvernay, but he is my lowest owned wide receiver with that information. Run Lamar naked, okay, Captain. So what does that mean? Like, are you playing Justin Tucker, Ravens defense? I don't know what you're asking with the naked there. Like, just not running with a pass catcher? I would guess that I have a pass catcher in those lineups. I mean, maybe I have a Taishan Williams lineup with Justin Tucker, so I think that's okay. The brand is fire, Sal. Keep killing it. Who's your favorite play? I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, Jason. Who's your favorite pump play below $2,000? Below $2,000, favorite pump play, Zay Jones at 1,800. That being said, probably strong chance he goes for 0. Also a decent chance he can score like 5 points today. Waller B-Day game, watch out. Is it Waller's B-Day today? That actually matters. Look, I'm not going to sit up here and be one of the people who say narratives don't matter. On your birthday, you know you feel special, right? A little bit different. It's your birthday. It's not like any other day. Things matter. People reach out to you more often, right? You want to have a good game. Derek Carr knows it's his birthday. I'll throw him these things matter. People are not robots. They have emotions. Can we quantify that? No, that's the problem. We can't quantify that. So, like, when people say revenge narrative, like the revenge narrative tonight for Willie Snead against the Ravens, right? He's not going to step on the field probably much. But revenge narratives only matter if there's a reason to have revenge. Like in the NBA, if you get like Isaiah Thomas, how Boston just shits on him and leaves him. Like, is there a revenge narrative there? If is there a bad split up, then sure, maybe there's revenge, right? KD going back and playing the Thunder. Not much, maybe revenge, but early on had a feud with Russell Westbrook. So there's some sort of revenge. We can't quantify it, but it's not always revenge. Somebody's birthday, though. I mean, if you tell me it's his birthday or not his birthday, it being his birthday, I think matters a little bit more for how much he wants to go out there and ball, and maybe not just him more so, but John Gruden seems like the exact type of man who would go, let's get Waller. Hey, let's get Waller a touchdown for his birthday. What do you say, man? Right? Something like that. That's exactly what he would do. Is there correlations with kickers? Like in terms of, yeah, I mean, obviously the higher, so lower totals are actually going to make kickers more optimal in terms of the lineups, because if it's like a 13 to 6 game, 13 to 7 game, and one kicker has 8 points and less people are actually scoring, and the reason why is like, if there's only 18 total points in the game, right, at the end of the day, well, that means that wide receivers aren't scoring touchdowns, running backs aren't scoring touchdowns, probably less big plays. It lets the kickers get in the lineups more often. In terms of correlations, you probably more so want to run the kicker against the player that he's going against. So, like, if you were going to go with, but this is not a hard and fast rule because it's fucking Showdown and it's random. But theory-wise, if you wanted to play Justin Tucker today, you should probably have Derek Carr in your lineups. But you're not going to do that because there's a lot more that goes into it than just that, right? Because you would hope that Derek Carr scores a bunch of touchdowns. If he's scoring a bunch of touchdowns, then they're going for extra points and not field goals. So, but all that stuff doesn't always play out the exact same way, right? Carr, Renfrow, and Ruggs, or Williams, Edwards, and Tucker. Carr, Renfrow, and Ruggs. I'll take Carr, Renfrow, and Ruggs. Would you be worried about Rodgers in a dynasty league? No. I mean, Rodgers in a dynasty league, I mean, the guy's going to play 3 to 4 more years max. So, like, dynasty in general, he's over the hill. You should probably be trying to re-up, but no, not right now. Somebody says, I love the Gruden voice. Thanks. That was kind of just off the hip. Wait a second. A revenge and a birthday narrative? Yeah, a Willie Snead revenge, not Waller. Oh, no, Waller used to be on the Ravens, right? When Waller had the issues. Was it drugs or whatever that Waller got into and got suspended? Or maybe just had like some issues in his personal life with that. But yeah, it is a revenge narrative. He was on Baltimore. Here we go. Holy shit. Wow. That is a deadly combo. Now that we're mentioning that, I'm gonna tweet that out because now we'll get some people to freak out about the revenge birthday narrative plus revenge narrative. Is it his birthday? Otherwise, I'm gonna look real stupid if somebody duped me. Plus revenge narrative for Darren Waller tonight. Over on all his props. Bang. I love it. Steroids. Was he steroids? Was it that? He was smoking crack. I think it was. I don't know if it was crack. I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but I think it was something like pretty hardcore. I don't think it was steroids, but it could be. Who knows? What do we got? 850 people in here. How y'all doing? Y'all chilling out? Alcoholic. Yeah, we got everybody saying everything. It's official. Waller's dropping 50. Yeah, look, narratives matter. Like, if people just straight up tell you narratives don't matter, those are the exact same people that are only looking at statistics all day and don't think that humans are like emotions and have emotions or anything like that, right? They fucking matter. Can I quantify how much his birthday and the fact that he left Baltimore matters? No. I mean, I don't think he really cares that he left Baltimore because he became the number one tight end on a team that loves throwing to the tight end maybe more than like anybody else in the league, and Derek Carr. Like, it's not just Waller. Like, do you remember Jared Cook there? Jared Cook was a top tight end with Derek Carr. These tight ends ball the fuck out. Yeah, unless you're Jason Witten. But yeah, it matters. I don't know how much though. Who the fuck knows? Sally, you motherfucking man, smacking us with the knowledge. Come on, fellas. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. I mean, come on. Could have sworn it was painkillers. Everybody's got everything on now. Thoughts on Hollywood Brown tonight? Yeah, I'm playing him in a season-long league, so I don't want him to go off, but I have Hollywood Brown in 50% of my lineups. That's factoring in captain and overall. Waller's on cocaine, Richmond's drug. Yeah, is this all true? Everybody's all over the place now. Watkins going to repeat last year's week 1 performance and then disappear the rest of the season. Ruggs or Edwards? You believe Edwards hype too? Believe the Edwards hype? I don't know how much he's hyped. Like, if you're on Twitter in small circles following some people, maybe they're hyped up about him. He's a fantastic athlete. He should have been a second-round pick if it wasn't for some injuries. He's a lot closer to his skill set, if not a better overall true alpha than Henry Ruggs. We'll see if that changes with Ruggs putting on nearly 20 pounds of muscle. So we'll see. But who do I like more between Ruggs and Edwards today? I mentioned it earlier. I have 2% more Henry Ruggs than Bryan Edwards today. It's basically a coin flip. I think Henry Ruggs has this interesting upside of he's going to move into the slot a little bit more, but then there's also the fully healthy Bryan Edwards. Like, Bryan Edwards didn't have, neither of these guys as rookies had a camp last year, had a preseason. Bryan Edwards and Ruggs both got hurt within the first 2 weeks of the season. Bryan Edwards missed some games, didn't really get fully healthy until 10 weeks into the season. People forget these things. Henry Ruggs left week 1 last year early with a lower body injury. People forget these things. I like, if I had to like build a team right now, Bryan Edwards over Henry Ruggs. Like, that would be my pick in general in terms of how they play football. But I just like the way that they might use Henry Ruggs in the slot tonight. But it's basically similar to both. Yo, what's good, Sal? You think Williams will be effective today? Effective? Who knows? I mean, this is not the greatest running backs in terms of not being drafted. Who knows? He had a good preseason. That doesn't really it matters in terms of how it affects other players in terms of like how to judge his skill set. Yeah, he looked decent, but so did a lot of other players. Like, so did Jared Patterson, and he's like the running back 4 for the football team right now. So I like Williams. I have his over 50, 7 rushing yards, whatever it was. So yeah, I like him. Been close to past 2 showdowns. Going to hit this one. I hope you do, my man. I hope you do. So is Josh Oliver in play? I have like 2% Josh Oliver right now, and it's just hoping for a 8-point game on a touchdown. Well, Sal, answer my question. Somebody says, waiting for the answer so I can leave the house for dinner and the girls. What's the question, man? Got Lamar as my captain with Williams, Waller, Watkins, Renfro. I have 5.8K left. Who would I fill the last spot with? Yeah, no, man. I answered it a lot earlier. I like Ruggs. I have 2% more Ruggs than Edwards. I would legit take a coin in your hand right now and flip it. There's not a real difference between Ruggs and Edwards. I have Ruggs for 10.4 fantasy points. I have Edwards for 10.1. In the nature of trying to be more unique, go with Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs will leave $600 more on the table, which gives your lineup a greater chance to be unique. Like, when you have that, when somebody's building the exact same lineup as you, and now we're saying this on the fucking show with 1,000 people watching, so who knows now. But when people are building the exact same lineup and they see that they can afford Bryan Edwards because he's more expensive, they're going to pay up and buy him instead of leaving an extra $600 on the table to go to Henry Ruggs. So just in the ability to be unique, just go there. How much Mark Andrews are you getting? I was getting about 30%, but then I decided to fully fade him, so I'm getting 0%. Getting 0% now. I was going to get about 30, but I'm getting 0. Nice shirt, Sal. That's my type of shirt. I appreciate that, man. Can you play Ruggs and Edwards together? Yes, you can. Any Peyton Barber? No. I heard it was video games at Room Baller. Daniel Carson or Renfro? Give me Renfro. How much Lamar captain do you have? I think like 45%. I have Captain Lamar in my most recent run, 31% now. Prize picks, somebody said. Yeah, we talked about the prize picks a little bit earlier. We'll talk about them before we close up in about 10 minutes again. But if you just like scroll the cursor on YouTube, you'll be able to see when I put the prize picks on the screen. It's the same ones as this morning. I added Derek Carr rushing. I got $600 in play on those props. I don't really see any other props, to be honest with you, like for tonight's game. We can pull up the board. Like, let's pull up the board here. So if you pull up the board, I don't think they added anything. Maybe they added some more receptions props. No, like there's nothing really added here. So everything from this morning, I just, it's the exact same as the ones I like this morning. It's just these ones. It's 100 on Taishan's over and Derek Carr's over. Derek Carr's over rushing yards might be my favorite one of the night. That's probably my favorite one of the night. And then it's these 3 over. So it's the same ones as the video this morning. Nothing has been added because nothing has really changed. Showdown slate, don't have to get more action down if there's not enough out there in terms of good props. I think Hollywood's overs are fine. It's just not something that I'm really targeting. I think it's a proper number for Hollywood's overs in terms of his yardage, not really his receptions. Do you think Rodgers and Aaron Jones will bounce back game and have a good fantasy year? Yeah, they'll be completely fine. They'll be fine. People look at that game yesterday, and like the Skip Baylesses and the talk show hosts, I'm sure, are having a field day with it. If you actually watch that game, that was not a 38-3 game, right? That game was 17-3. The Packers in the red zone. Rodgers throws a pick. And then the Packers on the next 2 drives went for it on their opponent's 25-yard line for like 4th and 1 and like 4th and 3. So they just were going for it, right? And that leads to quick and easy touchdowns for the opposite side of it. It was not that big of a difference in terms of the score. They played a lot better, I would say, right, in terms of being able to establish a running game. Their secondary somehow stayed up. It was really the pass rush. The Packers' offensive line faltered a little bit. That game was a lot closer than it was, and it's week 1 of the season. It's overreaction Monday. I'm not worried about anybody on the Packers. I'm not worried about a lot of players that didn't produce. Allen Robinson, I'm definitely not worried about with Andy Dalton against potentially the number 1 defense they'll face all season long, right? I'm not worried about Calvin Ridley, who started the first drive with 3 catches for 50 yards and didn't do much after that because the offensive line absolutely crumbled against the Eagles' defensive line, which looked great. Is Trey Sermon going to get the starting nod eventually? I don't think so, unless there's some news that comes out. Kyle Shanahan said Jermichael Hasty and Elijah Mitchell, which he wants to be called Eli Mitchell, those guys beat him out in camp. So unless something is not out about Trey Sermon doing something. Look, there was a week to 10 days. There was about 9 days, I think it's exactly, where they locked down camps, where the 49ers locked down camps after the preseason and didn't say anything, but they were still practicing. No media was allowed in. So in that 10 days, a lot can change. That's a week and a half of the preseason. In those 10 days during the preseason, everybody was jumping up and down for a ton of different players. ADPs in fantasy were changing nonstop. In those 10 days, Elijah Mitchell got fully healthy. He got healthy for the last preseason game. He started to probably look better. Maybe there's some fumbling problems for Trey Sermon. Didn't pick up some blitz. Got his quarterback blown up. All these type of things, right? Thank you for the Jameis pick. No problem. Is Brian Edwards going to see Marlon Humphrey? They're all going to see everybody. I don't think there's going to be a shadow matchup in this one. They're going to move around the field. I don't think Marlon Humphreys is going to shadow one of them. Now, if Henry Ruggs goes into the slot a lot, yeah, Brian Edwards will see more of him. What's the deal with Latavius Murray, and who's the better tight end tonight, Waller or Andrews? I'll take Waller. Latavius Murray, he's active. He's probably not going to play that much because I don't know how you join a team on Friday and are able to actually know the entire protections and the playbook and all that to play a lot. Are you worried about the Rams winning the Super Bowl? Worried about the Rams winning the Super Bowl? No. Could not say that one thing has worried me there. If they win, good for them. If they don't, literally no thoughts. Taishan Williams or Hollywood? I'll take Taishan Williams or Hollywood. I think I have more Taishan. Actually, I have more Hollywood because I have him in the captain. But if you're just talking about flex, I have more Taishan. Tyson. This probably is. Is Edwards going to see more on Humphrey? Oh, so we answered that one. Over under Fields takes starting job by week 3. I will take. He does not take it by week 3. That was a primetime game. He's going to be used. They have the perfect alibi here. Like, if they wanted Fields to start, if the GM wanted him to start week 1, they would have been starting in week 1. They don't want him to start. So the head coach is just listening to the GM. Whenever the GM pulls a trigger, and a primetime game where they got Fields involved, he scores a rushing touchdown, pumps the team up, all this stuff. If they're going to use Fields in this like hybrid role, he's going to get on the field enough. I don't think they're going to start him right away. And I wouldn't either. Did you see the Bears' offensive line? It was already one of the worst in the league, and then it got some injuries. I would not be starting Justin Fields right now. Obviously, everybody on the talk shows and everybody that loves fantasy wants to see Justin Fields. For that reason, I do. If you have a legitimate organization, why would you start Justin Fields right now? He is going to go up against, some tough defenses, right? Obviously, this past week would have been brutal for him. In the preseason when he played, he was getting destroyed. He was making mistakes. He was not picking up protections. He was trying to run away from protections and getting hammered. He was getting destroyed. Like, this is not a finished product of a quarterback in Justin Fields. Is he better than Andy Dalton? Yeah, probably. But is he going out there getting hammered and destroyed by behind the league's potentially worst offensive line worth it? No, I wouldn't say so. Somebody says, like the motherfucking video. How much Waller do you have right now? 39% Waller. Fellas, like this damn video. Yeah, like the video, hit the subscribe button, do all the things that people are doing. We got almost 900 people up in here on a Monday night to start the season. How y'all doing? Been live for about 45 minutes. We'll go for another 15. Will we see Cannon much tonight? I don't think so. He was practicing as a wide receiver in camp. He's listed as a running back, but he's a wide receiver for this team, so I don't think so. I know he played running back for the Panthers and for the Jets, but he plays wide receiver for this team, so yeah. Grooming field is better, correct. Yeah, I agree. Somebody says Burrow 2.0. Yeah, you really want him to go back there and tear his ACL or just get knocked up? No. What do you think about KJ Osborne? I like him. 47 routes, 7 targets. I liked him all of camp. I was tracking that KJ Osborne, that number 3 receiver job, and KJ Osborne came and took it. He took it. He performed better in the preseason games than Amir Smith-Marsetti. Got more separation. KJ Osborne is a fantastic option now as the clear wide receiver 3 in Minnesota. Smart to play both quarterbacks. I mean, I'm sure I have some lineups of both quarterbacks, but that's hella expensive. I have 45% Carr, so yeah, I definitely have lineups of both quarterbacks. In Andy Dalton's defense, I can't remember the last time he had a good O-line, and yes, the Cowboys O-line wasn't good last year. Yeah, the Cowboys O-line last year was terrible. It's terrible, Kenny. Josh Jacobs or Brown, Ravens wide receiver, Browns Ravens wide receiver. Sal, you have a total points for the game? No, I didn't take anything on the over-under or the spread. Yo, Sal, just wanted to stop in and say, hey, hope all is well. Hey, Rob, how you doing, boss man? I hope all is well with you as well. Has anybody gotten a fellas tattoo yet? Not that I know of, but we got the fellas hoodies. I really got to revamp the hoodie store and reach out to my designer. It's the last thing that I ever think of, especially in the middle of the season. But we do have a merch store if people want to go up in there and check it out. We got some hoodies. We got some T-shirts. Fall weather is here. Unless you live in Texas like me, unfortunately, I will be missing the fall. Other people in Texas, I don't know how you do it. Wow, look at this. I just opened up my merch store, and there's $27 in sales in there. How about that? We rich. I'm about to get a fucking burrito with that tomorrow. I've been eating terrible the last 2 to 3 days. I mean, football food yesterday. Went and got Terry Black's barbecue today with my cousin. Just absolutely terrible. How comes there's no double header this year? Yeah, I don't know. Dalton is talented but bad situations. I mean, Dalton was a top 5 quarterback in fantasy a couple years back, so he definitely is decent if he's in a good situation. Drop the link to your shirts, bro. The merch store? Yeah. I don't even know I legit don't even know what the link is to it. I know what the link is to the back end of it. Let me get the merch store. Hey, Sal, any Le'Veon Bell? I don't think Le'Veon Bell is active tonight, my man, so I would not be playing Le'Veon Bell. Thank you. You can do Monday to Thursday Classic. Yeah, he was just saying normally there's like a 2-game slate. Here is, I think this is the merch store. This should be it. Yeah, there's the merch store. Bam. There's the merch store. How you doing? And while we're at it with all the links, here's the Patreon store, because if you're not a Patreon, what are you doing? You're not in the Discord tonight? You're not in the Discord with the 700 Patrons partying it up, chilling out, relaxing, maxing, all cool? Who's winning tonight? The Ravens. Is it okay if I pick 3 wide receivers without Carr? Sure. It's funny to see people actually dislike for no reason. Haters going to be watching means you're fine, my brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I legit don't check the likes or dislikes on any of these videos. Or the views lately. I just assume that everything is all good. Don't need no stinking hoodie here in Texas. I got a couple in the mornings when it's cold and I got the AC still on. My girlfriend's sleeping. Somebody says the shirt you're wearing. I got it at like Dillard's, I think. I don't know. I've been shopping at Dillard's lately. They got some nice ass shirts. I mean, way better than like H&M. I shop at H&M a good amount, but like the guys' clothes there are just like, it's just always the same. Like bad material and they shrink to shit. Come on, Sally, you got to do some FanDuel stuff. I don't have interest in FanDuel, I'm going to be honest with you, my man. I mean, I just don't. I play a lot of props. I bet. I play some SuperDraft. I play mainly DraftKings. I just don't have interest in FanDuel. I don't know. DraftKings marketing got me. And I'm a one-man band, so in terms of what I cover, I don't cover FanDuel. I don't play FanDuel, so it's just easy not to. Yo, Sal, any takes on SuperDraft? Yeah, SuperDraft in terms of like highly projected players over there. I think Bryan Edwards is going to be a sneaky guy over there. He has a really nice overall a 2.25 multiplier for Bryan Edwards. That looks really good. Sal, every NFL night you will be there. Beware. Hey, Sal, let's meet up for lunch at Black's this Friday. Bro, I had Black's today. That's like once every 3 months type of thing, maybe. I like barbecue food, but not a lot. Like, it just makes me feel like absolute shit after I eat it. I only got it because my cousin was here and I wanted to get him some. How much Drake do you have, Sal? 25% Drake. That's way too high, though. That's below the field, I bet. Take plus 125 money line on Vegas, Sal. I don't have any interest in any side of it, but I do think the Ravens win. I think people are overblowing the fact that the Ravens lost some running backs. Marcus Peters matters, but the Ravens still have the advantages everywhere. The offensive line, the quarterback, the defensive line, the top cornerbacks, the wide receivers, I would even say, are pretty close. Sammy Watkins and Hollywood Brown are basically pretty close to Bryan Edwards and Ruggs. It shouldn't be, but that's just the way that the scheme is. They have the advantage at tight end, right? They have the advantage everywhere. I don't really know where the Raiders have the advantage. They don't have the advantage at linebacker, right? They don't have it in overall secondary. They don't have it on defensive line. I really don't know where. Running back, the least important part? Sure. What percentage Watkins you got? 31%. Factoring in captain ownership, about 55% Watkins. I'm a Patreon and I recommend it. Well over a year now. It's super helpful and spot on. I appreciate you, my man Tim. Yeah, Tim's an OG up in here. Yeah, there's a link to Patreon. Sal, Monkey Knife Fight props advice, Jackson versus Carr. I don't know what their props are, my man. I'd be on Prize Picks and Underdogs props these days, mainly Prize Picks lately. Monkey Knife Fight's board was just an issue, right? Like, I don't know if anybody played Monkey Knife Fight, but then I discovered what Prize Picks was, and Prize Picks board is just so nice. First of all, they have the flex play option. You don't have to, if you play 5 props tonight on Prize Picks, you have the option to not have to make it a parlay, which you only have to get 4 to 5 right to profit. 5 out of 5 you profit more. 3 out of 5 you actually get part of your money back. So I like that for starters. So it's upside, but also baked in, reduces some of your risk. And then also their board is just so nice. All the props are right there. A ton of fantasy scoring props. All the props are right there. Ravens are going to get their ass whooped. All right. Le'Veon Bell's active for tonight. Does that change anything for you? No. Well, it'll change his projection. So, let me see. Josh Jacobs is good to go. Let me see Le'Veon Bell. My guess is that Le'Veon Bell will run as the running back too. The Ravens have elevated Anthony Levine and Justin whatever. That means no Le'Veon Bell. That means no Le'Veon Bell or Devonta Freeman for tonight's game, according to Field Yates. So, no Le'Veon Bell or Devonta Freeman. He's not active tonight, by the way. So whoever said that, that is incorrect. That is incorrect. He's not elevated. Sal, Watkins or Tucker at flex? Watkins. Andrews over Waller. I prefer Waller. Wide receiver 2 for the Raiders is Edwards. I think it's a coin flip. 1A, 1B. We'll find out who it is in the next month to 6 weeks. Sal, you faded Monday to Thursday slates because of the randomness of news? No, I actually like Monday to Thursday slates more than Showdowns, to be honest with you. I just don't play them. I don't know. I don't have the time to like build the lineups. I really don't know. I don't know why. I think I just fucking forgot about them, to be honest with you. I like Monday to Thursday slates. And on Thursday slates, it's nice because if you Monday and Thursday slates, whatever game is second, you usually get a lot more upside out of. Like if the Thursday game, people will play a lot more guys on tonight's game than the Thursday game. Even if the Thursday game is shittier, they just will, or even if it's better, they'll play a lot more on Monday because people want to see their guys play tonight, right? How dare I not play 5 guys tonight that I'm playing? And that usually leads to you building worse lineups. But the Monday to Thursday slates, the Thursday to Sunday, whatever they do, the Sunday night to Monday night, those are good slates. Those are good slates. I guess I just don't play them. I play props on all the Showdowns. I play a little bit of Showdown action. I just mainly get my money down on main slates. But yeah, I probably should look into the Monday to Thursday slates a little bit more. I think they're fun. You kind of look like Field Yates. Yeah, a lot of people. So like we made a TikTok 2 months ago and it's popped off. Like we're starting to get advertising requests. We have in 2 months of making TikToks, we're at like, I think today's video is really popping off. 230,000 views. Yeah, we have 42,000 followers on TikTok in 2 months, which is pretty damn good. And a lot of people on there say that I look like Field Yates. Whenever, like, I usually reply to comments for like the first 20 to 30 minutes just to try and boost the algorithm and then stop. And usually there's a couple people in that time that like say you look like Field Yates or like Walmart Field Yates or Poor Man's, whatever it is. Ravens are garbage. They're gonna get exploited. Yeah, I mean they might lose. Who knows? I really don't care. I don't have a side on either of the games. Hey Sal, if Lamar Jackson scores the most points and you have him in the captain spot, could the best lineup possibly be without him in it? If Lamar Jackson scores the most points and you have him in the captain spot, could the best lineup possibly be without him in it? If he scores the most points, could he not be in the captain spot? Yeah, there's still a way. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he scores, I have Lamar Jackson projected for 17 points more than anybody else in the slate today. So if Lamar Jackson scores the most points, but he's only scoring 20, somebody else can definitely be in the captain spot, right? Somebody who scores 15, right? Any Snead tonight? I have no Snead right now. Can't wait to see a big hit from Deshaun Elliott, one of the hardest hitting safeties in the league. Yeah. If you had to punt somebody in a lineup, who would you pick? Probably Duvernay or Renfro. Unless you're looking for lower than that. If you're looking for lower than that, I would probably go. Is the game on ABC? I don't know. That sounds weird if it is. Zay Jones would be like the absolute punt, but I don't feel confident in that. I don't have any. Who the hell is Taishan Williams? Did he go to a school? Yes, he went to a school. Taishan Williams, I believe he was actually on the Ravens last year, but he ended up beating out Nate McCary in the preseason to get the final roster spot, and then everybody got hurt. He was a 2020 undrafted free agent out of BYU. He's like 222 pounds. He's about 6 foot tall. He's got good speed. He didn't really do much in college, though. Like, his final year in college, it was only 4 years, or 4 games, but not much. Not much of a pass catcher. I mean, he averages like a reception a game for the most part, maybe a little bit more than that. Not going to get much receptions here, but never did much in college. Never did much in college at all. Highest season was 471 yards on less than 100 carries. So, I mean, he's a nobody who earned an opportunity, and now he's in one of the best running situations, and they have nobody. They have legit nobody behind him. Trent Cannon has been practicing as a wide receiver. That's going to be like the main backup tonight. Latavius Murray is active but doesn't know the playbook, doesn't know protections. He knows them barely, right? Has not had one full practice. Thank you, Sally. You're the best. Got to bounce back and stop trying to overthink this slate. Yeah, man. Don't overthink the slate. Do not overthink the slate. What do we got in here? We got 900 people live right now. How y'all doing? Sal, I have enough for one. Should I pick Tucker or Andrews? You have enough for Tucker or Andrews? How much money do you fucking have left? I mean, Andrews. What's up, Sal? Got in here. So what's the news for the Ravens backfield depth tonight? Latavius Murray's active. No thoughts on how much he'll play. I don't think he'll play much. Somebody says you got a lot of haters on TikTok. I don't think I do. I think if you go to any social media comment section, it will seem like that, but that is the 1% of people that actually watch the video. Like the video that I posted today will probably get 300,000, 400,000 views, and the people that actually comment on that is like 2% of people, 3% of people who watch it will comment, and like 1% of those people will actually comment negatively. But yeah, the last thing I do, spending my time, is checking any comment section. Any comment section is the last thing that I do. I have every single tweet reply muted automatically. I don't get notifications on Twitter. I don't get notifications on any app. The only app, actually, that's probably a lie. I think PayPal I might. I have notifications on, I could let you know right now. I used to have them on Jock Market. Why can't I see my notifications? Probably because I have notifications on PayPal and missed calls in Venmo. That's it. How do your lineups do yesterday? Yes, the Jameis Winston lineups came through for me. I played about 4,500 and I profited about $3,000. Unfortunately, Devontae Adams and Kamara and all these guys getting pulled in the final quarter of the game really hurt me. In that final quarter of all the 4 o'clock games, I was up about 13 grand. And then obviously Tyreek Hill has the massive touchdown. I don't have him. Devontae Adams gets pulled. Like literally, if Devontae just stays in that game and has like 5 more fantasy points, it's probably like a close to $10,000 profit day. But instead it was 3. But we'll take it because it was a shit show of a fucking day in terms of like all the stacks. I did not have much Mahomes. I literally said on the Patreon podcast, I had like 2% Mahomes. I said on the Patreon podcast, I'm terrified to not have Patrick Mahomes because he is the best stack today. I said he is the best stack today. It is just difficult to make any type of strong lineups with him. You have to play 2 of the 3,000 receivers or 3 of them, and they look like shit. Would you box another YouTuber on a Jake Paul undercard? No, I would not. No. I have very bad head trauma problems in the past, so there's no way. I had a concussion for over a year, and it still affects me in certain situations to this day. Not many, but certain ones. But I had a concussion for over a year. I had post-concussion syndrome. I had to wear glasses or headphones, and a lot of, if I went to a supermarket, had to wear headphones and or glasses. Yeah, I couldn't drink anything. I was in a fog for like a year. So the last thing I would ever do is put myself in a situation to get punched in the head. Even if I didn't have that, no. Like getting punched in the head, I don't care for how much money, is terrible. Like years off your life immediately. Any Duvernay? Yes. Wall, Carr, or Jacobs, Waller. Got room for one, Waller. Are you and Phil rates related? I don't care if you say no because y'all look identical. No, we're not. Abo donates $2. He says, Sal, what's going on? Abo, how you doing, boss man? If you put Humphrey on Edwards, then Ruggs is going to get a deep TD. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a shadow matchup tonight. I think they'll both see him. Josh Oliver season? I have 2%. Any chance of a Raiders upset? There's definitely a chance. Can you name us 4 off the top of your head players for tonight? Can you name us 4 of your top players off of your head tonight? Yeah, Lamar Jackson, Darren Waller. Lamar Jackson, Darren Waller, Taishan Williams, Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, Renfro for value. I might fully fade Josh Jacobs and just say fuck it. Beautiful eyebrows and they shape your perfectly symmetrical head. Thanks. What the fuck's this guy saying? Wow, sorry about the head. Appreciate all you got to do. Got to make a beer run. Yeah, get that beer run. Watkins or Ruggs? Ruggs or Robinson? Ruggs or Robinson? Why can I not think off the top of my head who the hell Robinson is on this slate? Is there a Robinson on this slate tonight? Am I just overthinking this? Ruggs. Because I don't know who the hell the other guy is. The process taught by you won me 100 times. My buy-in yesterday felt good. Finally, a bankroll after 2.5 years, says Andrew. Hey, Andrew, I see you got the Pitt avatar. I'm a Penn State guy, so we'll let it slide because you won some Dollarooskies. Nice. Sal, you fading the entire Ravens backfield. I have a good amount of Taishan today. You don't like Mark Andrews? I think he's fine. I'm just trying to make stances on this slate, so I have 0%. I had him at one point, but I'm just trying to make some strong stances. You're not gonna win a showdown slate playing 15 to 20% of every guy. You got to take some actually hard stances. Watkins the number 1 in Baltimore. Yeah, I would say that he's the overall number 1 in Baltimore, like in terms of possession receiver and the X receiver and things like that. The Z will definitely be Hollywood Brown. In the slot will be Duvernay. Top 3 to make a touchdown tonight. Top 3 to make a touchdown tonight. To score a touchdown tonight. I would say the top 3 are going to be number 1, Waller. Number 2, Taishan Williams. And number 3, Mark Andrews. If you're not counting like quarterbacks. Jacobs is probably pretty close to Mark Andrews, though. 2 running back or wide receiver? I'll go wide receiver. The fuck's this guy saying? Yeah, what was he saying? What do you think the ownership on Jacobs will be? I have ownership projections on Patreon. I have him for 38% ownership right now. I'm below that barely right now. I might fully fade him, though. I might fully fade Jacobs right now and just see what I get. Let's just fully fade Jacobs and see what we get. I mean, 2 touchdown games are definitely in the card for Jacobs, and that usually gets you in the winning lineups on showdowns. Let's see, though. Williams at 5,700 and Watkins or Latavius Murray and Hollywood Brown for the Sunday to Monday primetime 2-game slate. Sunday to Monday primetime 2-game slate. I don't want to play Latavius Murray today. I don't want to play Latavius Murray. Are you playing kickers and defenses? Yes. Yes. I am playing not a lot of defenses. I'm playing a good amount of Justin Tucker and some Daniel Carlson. Had to look up Field Yates. Forgot what he looked like, but yeah, you definitely look like brother. Somebody said. Yeah, I get it a good amount. Edwards or Watkins? Edwards. Do you like Justin Tucker tonight? Yes. Is Drake a fade? I don't think so. Just hopped on. Sal, how's it going? Any interest in Baltimore running backs beside Taishan? No interest in those running backs besides him. No. Hope you're doing well. How much do you think Snead is going to play today? I think it's hard for Snead to take the field today. Devin Duvernay is going to start in the slot. So I'm thinking the wrong team. Hunter Renfrow is going to start in the slot, and then Henry Ruggs is going to move into the slot at times. I don't know when Snead plays unless he plays on the outside ahead of Zay Jones. So I don't think he plays that much, if at all. Hey, brother, I recently subscribed to your YouTube channel, and we already in the green from yesterday. How are we feeling about the defenses in this game? Hey, glad to hear that, Piz. Glad to hear that, man. I like the Ravens defense more, but I don't really like either defense. I have 17% Ravens and I have 12% Raiders. There's just way too cheap running backs, and I might fully fade the defenses. Both totals are pretty high for both teams. Yeah, let's fuck it. Let's fade the defenses and just see what that gives us. Both totals are kind of high, though. I'm not like advocating for you to do this. I'm just trying to take strong stances. This is not probably the optimal way to play, but I'm just trying to see what happens because both totals are high. There's so many cheap receivers tonight that are close in the price points to those 2 from each team, starting receivers, right? 1 from each team at least, starting slot receiver. So I'll fade the defenses, but I wasn't getting much of them anyways, like low teens in ownership on them. Let's see what happens if we fade them. We're going to get more Justin Tucker. We're going to get a lot more of these value receivers. Like a Devin Duvernay's popping up a little bit more now for me, closer to 40%. That feels good. Somebody says Drake over Kanye. Yeah, I like both a lot, but I will agree. But they're all good in there. If I had to choose one music to listen to, it would be Drake. But obviously, no hate to Kanye. He's probably number 2 on that list for me. He said he has about 50% Hollywood. Yeah, let's see what that's at now, though, because I'm finishing the optimizer's working. Yeah, it'll be like 55% Hollywood after this. That's including captain. Taishan Williams in the captain spot. I don't have any Taishan in the captain. I have wide receivers in Lamar. That's all I have right now. But no issues with Tyson. Like, Taishan Williams might have 18 carries for 110 yards and a touchdown tonight. That's very possible. Sal is always great on insights and gives you plenty of scenarios we appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. It obviously makes it the only way I can do it, so I appreciate it. Alrighty, we're going to close this one up because we've been live for an hour. So the game starts in, a half hour or so? So let's close this one up. I'll take a couple more questions. If you're not already a member on Patreon, you can do so by going to this link that is dropped in the chat. For tonight, we have a ton of shit over there. Matchup notes were like 25 pages last week. The optimizer, the Discord, player projections, player rankings for cash and GPP. What else is over here? Ownership projections, bunch of shit. Showdown slate projections, all that type of stuff. There's a link. Get in there. Got the Discord. 700 Patreons are all active in there. Moreo has a punt, not for me. Edwards or Renfrow, I'll take Edwards. One punch man, Humphrey going to get a stripped ball. Uh-oh. Sal, favorite SuperDraft captain play tonight? My highest projected is Lamar Jackson, but if you're looking for one with a high multiplier and upside, it's definitely going to be Bryan Edwards. These are a recap of my favorite props tonight. They're the same ones from the video this morning. If you caught it or not, Taishan Williams over rushing yards 57.5. I think he sees about 80%, if not more, of the running back touches tonight. Henry Ruggs over 34.5 receiving yards, and Mark Andrews under 57.5 receiving yards. And then I added later on, Derek Carr is probably my favorite prop over 4.5 rushing yards. I don't know if that's changed, but we can definitely check to see if that has changed and it's gone higher. I doubled down on it as well. Rushing yards for Derek Carr is now up to 6.5. Oh boy, I have him for 10, so I still like the over 6.5. But obviously we like the 4.5 we had, and you're hoping that he loses so he doesn't kneel down and screw you, right? Take it easy, gangsta. Thanks. All right, everybody. I appreciate it. We're going to bounce. We've been live for an hour. So what's coming up on the schedule is I already have the video recorded for tomorrow morning. We're going to have first look for week 2. Wild lineups that you can make. Insane lineups. Shout out Dallas in the Chargers game. And then we're going to have a waiver wire video later in the day. TikToks has 1 to 2 videos going out daily. Wednesday, we'll look at the Thursday slate. Thursday will be the betting video. Friday, final thoughts. Saturday, that one dude. Sunday, stream. And there you go. There's the week. Appreciate it if you want to sign up over on Patreon. Join the community there. Support the work that I do. If not, just keep tuning in over here and we'll have a good old time. Alrighty, peace out, gang. Appreciate you all. I am a patron for SuperDraft. Who do I play? The higher projected? Yeah, the higher projected, but also factor in not just the projection, but their multiplier. Like right now, Brian Edwards is my third highest projected SuperDraft play, but he has a massive multiplier compared to Derek Carr, who's ahead of him, and Lamar Jackson. So that looks really good because when he actually exceeds his projection, he's going to exceed it more because of the multiplier. Alrighty, peace out, everybody. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. If somebody asks you, if you bank tonight and somebody asks you, hey, how'd you win that $1,000, that $100, that $1 million, maybe if you're unique enough, you say, well, hey, I know football, and football knows me. All right, take care. Ciao. Peace. See you in the next one. Peace. Well, shit. That dude was wearing a paintball shirt all over. I mean, goddamn. Did his mother let him wear that? Man, she must be